the rest of this broadcast, and we sincerely apologize as we had a little networking issue, and we are back at it again. Well, leading off the bottom of the fourth inning is Leo Dallas DeVries. He's 2 out, 1 on, 2-2 count. Our 4-4 ball game, bottom of 4. And that's going to be right there. Ground ball to the second base area. Throws him out at first, and that will be the inning over. So no runs on a hit, no errors, 1 left for San Antonio as we head now to the top of the 5th. And it is a 4-4 tie as we get going for our break. Encarnacion, Daniels, and Smith will lead off the 5th when we come back. And we are 4-4 in this broadcast. All right, leading off the top of the 5th inning for Corpus Christi. Third in the lineup, Luis Encarnacion. And now here is John Baker. Thank you, Bob. Top of the 5th. Encarnacion coming in as he's set to go for the leadoff batter as he gets in a strike, and the count now at 0-1. No balls, 1 strike. Here is the pitch by Haynes, and that's an inside strike. The count now 0-2. So don't know why we had that technical difficulties, I guess. Guess the weather doing it? I mean, I'm not really sure. Well, I guess with the atmospheric disturbances, it could get something going. Just don't know what. But anyway, who could tell? Left fielder Zach Daniels coming in. He was a hit-by-pitch victim. Last time up is 0 for 1. So pretty good in this ball game, and so far one of the best. And that's going to be a pitch clock violation. 1 ball and no strikes. And that's going to be an inside strike. The count now at 1-1. 1 ball, 1 strike. The pitch. And that one's going to be lofted high in the air. Fabian getting right on the warning track, just shallow of the wall. And that will be out number 2. Well, with 2 gone, here's third baseman Cam Smith. Hot corner guy for Corpus Christi. Here is the pitch. Right there. Hit the second baseman, Acuna. Throws him out at first as Castagnon gets him. And that will be it for the side retired. No runs, hits, or errors. Nobody left on for Corpus Christi. We're 5.5 and still tied at 4-4. So back here with a new arm to start us off as we lead off the bottom of the 5th right after our commercial messages. About ready to go for the bottom of five right now in the Missions Baseball Network. Left-hander Blake Wyman getting the call. It's a four-seam fastball slider and a two-seam fastball. Will pitch for Corpus Christi in this broadcast.
Leading off for the Missions.
The San Antonio left fielder, the leadoff batter, Albert Fabian, strikes to the plate now. Is 1-for-1, a single. Starting to get dark, but stadium lights illuminate the field on this first day of July. Which that's a pitch inside for a cold strike. It's 0-1. And the pitch. That is down and in for a called strike, and it's 0-2. Well, anyway, Bob, I got to say, what would you do after the 6 games against Wichita? Well, I don't know, John. I mean, spend time with my wife, have a good time on that. And so far, I would ask you the same thing. What would you do? Well, I'd probably pretty much just work at my 2 jobs. Probably on evenings like that, I would probably go out to the swimming pool at my apartment and go out and watch a movie or something. Hey, sounds like a pretty good idea right there, John. Well, that's a high pop-up as Salas is down for out number 2. That will bring up Joshua Mears. The center fielder was a home run, 2 RBIs. And so far, pretty good for him as he comes in. Looking pretty sharp right there. No balls and 1 strike. Here's the pitch. And that's going to be right there. Line drive to left. That's a base hit. So he goes after the first pitch he sees and lines 1 to left field. That is pretty good. Yeah, I got to say, John, it's really good that he came and put that one out of reach. Well, here is first baseman Marcos Castañon as he comes in. Well, weather forecast for tonight calls for cloudy skies and rain showers after midnight. So evidently San Antonio could see more rain at least by 3 a.m. or 4 for a Wednesday morning. Yeah, I got to say, John, Thursday could be rain showers, even Friday as well. I mean, as we celebrate the 4th of July, and that one's going to be right there up the left field. That's also a base hit, John. That was pretty good as Castañon gets on there and Mears gets on there. And so far, 2 runners now getting on base, 1 in scoring position. And so far, pretty good on that one. Yep, I got to say, Bob, absolutely right. Well, anyway, for Wednesday, considerable cloudiness with occasional rain showers, with chance of rain 50%. And for Wednesday night, showers in the evening, cloudy overnight, low 75. So, best chances are we could evidently see a few rainouts here in San Antonio. But hopefully, if we do, then we'll have a Thursday double game. And if we get a double game like that, then you can see the flying chanclas for the price of 2 games, which that is pretty good. So, no runs, 2 hits, no errors, 2 left for San Antonio. We head now to the top of the 6th. Austin Deming, Zach Cole, and Chase Jaworski will lead it off for Corpus Christi when we come back. Well, we're the next half inning for Corpus Christi coming up right now on the Missions Baseball Network. Well, Austin Deming coming in as we're set to go here for the sixth inning. As that's a pitch inside for a strike. The count now at 0-1. The pitch, that one is high flying and foul. And the count now 0-2. So far, look like a lot of rain around the area with the sky getting dark. Stadium lights now take full effect here this evening. No balls, 2 strikes. The count now on Deming. And called third strike. Got him down. And that's the 4th one tonight for Jagger Haynes. Well, so far, a pretty good night for us here tonight at the ballpark. And here is Zach Cole as he comes in. He takes a strike inside. The count now at 0-1. 1-for-1, 2-run shot last in the 4th inning to the center fielder Cole. So far, pretty good on that. Here's the pitch. And that's going to be right there. High fly in the air. And that's going to get the fence. And that's going to put a runner in scoring position. If not, maybe 3. And he's got a stand-up triple. That is the 7-hole batter, Zach Cole. 90 feet away from scoring in the tie-breaking run for their side. Now, Corpus Christi dugout sure is getting fired up, and so far here is Chase Jaworski, the 8-hole batter. Takes that one down, and the count now 1-0. 0 for 2, a strikeout and a ground out last go round. 6th inning already, and boy, we're still going quicker on innings and quicker on outs. Just not good enough right there. But that one's going to be in for a strike, and the count now 1-2. 1 ball, 2 strikes, and the pitch. That's going to be hard hit, foul. And the count now at 1-2. Well, evidently Midland and Amarillo will restart their ball game. 7-0. Top of the 5th inning, a runner on first for Amarillo, and that's going to be right there. Swing and a miss. Got him down on strikes. And that's the 5th strikeout for San Antonio for Jagger Haynes. Boy, and you can see where he got him, and yep, he fooled him right there just by the swing and a miss. And that is pretty good motivation right there. Brian Lavastida coming in now. And that's going to be an inside strike. The count now at 0-1. It was a hit by pitch. A run is 0 for 1 tonight to the Corpus Christi catcher. And the pitch. That's down and a changeup. The count now is 1 ball and 1 strike. A lot of fans continuing to pile up here in this ball game. And yeah, we've got full house to get going on this first day of July.
2 strikes.
So far with Game 2 tomorrow night. Game 3 wrapping up our short 3-game homestand. 9 on the road. Leadoff 3 at Corpus Christi, 6 in Wichita. And that's going to get a run in to score by Brian Lavastida, as he has a RBI double. And Corpus Christi now takes the lead. It's now 5-4. So far, pretty good evening thus far for Corpus Christi. Here's the leadoff batter, Jesus Bastidas. As he comes in, Boyd takes a changeup down and in. It's 1 ball and no strikes. 1 for 2 single last time up. Runner in scoring position. That is number 80. And the pitch. That's a down and in strike. And the count now 1-1. 1 ball, 1 strike. Here's the pitch. And that's going to be high fly in the air. And Campbell will run it down. And with that, the side is retired. But Brian Lavastida gets an RBI double. And he'll put Corpus Christi up by 1. So 1 hit and 1 run coming in for this one. It's the bottom of the 6th. Corpus Christi leads it 5-4 against the Missions. All right, we lead off the bottom of the sixth inning for San Antonio. Right now on the Missions Baseball Network. Thank you, Bob. 6, 7, 8 due up against Cole Roederer. Cole Roederer coming in, takes a strike inside. The count now 0-1. I do apologize about that. 6, 7, and 8 due up against Blake Wyman. Wyman coming in, looking in from the stretch. Battling the first three of this bottom six. That's a swing and a miss. The count now 0-2. So far, hope everybody's having a good time here at the ballpark tonight. Going to be a pretty good night, but evidently who's ready for fireworks after this one? Well, that's another backwards K, and that'll be one away. Third baseman Yendry Rojas coming in is 0 for 2, strikeout and a flyout. And the pitch, that is pop foul. The count now 0-1. So far, got a little bit of rain around the area. And that's count now 0-2.
2 strikes.
No balls, 2 strikes to count. And here's the pitch. That's going to be right there. Line drive. That's a base hit to left, and that's going to give them a double. And that will be a Yendry Rojas double. The tying run now at second. And everybody on the courtesy call of Whataburger, everybody gets a double meat cheeseburger coupons courtesy of Whataburger by Yendry Rojas. 8-hole batter, second baseman Francisco Acuna steps in as he'll take a strike right there. And the count now at 0-1. He singled last time up and is 1 for 2 of the ball game. Feel pretty good right there. He's got the opportunity of delivering home a base hit and getting that runner from second home. That will tie us up third time again this evening. So far, it'd be pretty nice. Here's the 0-2 to Acuna right there and out. And the count now 1 ball and 2 strikes. One and 2. And that's going to be out of play. And the count now at 1-2. Well, San Antonio's skyline looks pretty when it's nice and dark. And that's going to be right there. Line drive. That is a base hit. That will get the runner home. And that will tie us up third time again. Acuna gets that RBI single. And so far, San Antonio and Corpus Christi tied 5-5. So what a immaculate inning it turned out to be.
Ball, that's out.
And that's going to bring up the next batter, Leo Dallas DeVries. As he comes in, and no balls, 2 strikes to count. Runner at first. 1 away here in this half inning, and that's outside the count now. 2 balls and no strikes. Looking in to wind up the stretch by Wyman. And here's the pitch. That is inside for a strike, and the count now at 2 balls and 1 strike. I apologize, I have to get some hand sanitizer. And that's going to be inside for a count now 2-2. Two balls, 2 strikes. the wind up the stretch. And that one is outside for ball 3. So that could put another runner on base if he walks him on ball 4. And yep, that would be pretty bad right there. Here's pitch, and right there, ball 4. And I think I said the magic word right there.
Now batting.
Because now evidently you got a runner in scoring position. And that's going to bring up the leadoff man, Albert Fabian. Fabian comes in, and that one's going to be hard hit right there. And the shortstop gets in and takes it himself. Left field and center field. Boy, all 3 of them boys would have been hard impact right there on catching that baseball. Ethan Salas, the catcher, coming in. He's 0 for 3. 5-5 ball game. The tie-breaking run on second, the go-ahead at first. That's going to be right there. Line drive to second, and they get him, and that ends the inning. But Francisco Acuna has an RBI, and he brings in the tying run, and that will do it for us here in the 5th inning. We head to the 7th. It is Corpus Christi 5, San Antonio 5. As we head to the 7th inning, Luis Baez, Encarnacion, and Daniels will lead it in the 7th when we come back. Top of the 7th inning for Corpus Christi, right now the Missions Baseball Network. Well, that'll bring up Luis Baez. 2, 3, and 4 due up against Jagger Haynes. Throws that first pitch inside, and that's a leadoff single to the center fielder. That was right up the middle to Joshua Mears.
Encarnacion.
And that will bring in the next batter, first baseman Luis Encarnacion. Strikeout, fly out, fielder's choice is 0 for 3 as he comes in ready to go. We are tied ball game here in this broadcast, and that is going to be outside and foul. The count now 0-1. Top of the 7th inning on this Tuesday night. That one is a slider outside. The count now 1-1. 1 ball, 1 strike. Here's the pitch, and that's going to be right there. Line drive. That is up the middle. Through for a base hit. So 2-1, nobody out here in the 7th inning for Corpus Christi.
Left fielder, Zach Daniels.
And that will bring in Zach Daniels as he comes in. Well, that will probably do for the starter here today, as Jagger Haynes is out of the ball game. And so far he's pitched a lot of innings here tonight. Now he's 7 plus 1 2/3 innings. And that'll bring up the left-hander Jason Blanchard as he's called upon to pitch for San Antonio. So 4-seam, a slider, a changeup, and a 2-seam fastball comes in. Blanchard now pitching for San Antonio in this ball game. And that's going to be a slider down and outside. The count now at 1-0. We're tied 5-5 here in this ball game. Bob, any change? A base hit would probably give Corpus Christi back the lead in this ball game. And so far, it needs to be a decision on that. But anyway, that one's going to be high fly in the air. And Castagnon tries to get that baseball, but can't get up there in doing so. And the pitch. That one fouled off. The count now at 1-2. 5-5 our score here in the top of the 7th inning. First and second, nobody out. And the pitch. That is fouled off. Still holding at 1 ball, 2 strikes to Zach Daniels as he comes in this one. That's a swing and a miss. Got him down and for the first out. Yep, sure did there, Bob. He ringed him up and he came up here and they put him down. So here is third baseman Cam Smith. 1 away and 2 on here in this one. One ball, no strikes. The pitch is inside for a strike. The count now 1-1. One ball, 1 strike, and the pitch. That one fouled off. But still holding at 1 ball and 2 strikes. And the pitch. And they give him a balk. And so that will award the guy at first to second base. Don't know why, but anyway, they just say, hey, you know, he needs to get that balk right there. That's right there. Line drive, that's a base hit. And that will bring in 2 on an RBI single by Cam Smith.
Now batting, designated hitter, Austin.
And so that will be a 7-5 score. Corpus Christi out by 2. And that's going to bring in the 6-hole batter, Austin Deming. 7-5. Corpus Christi out in front. Designated hitter is Austin Deming. 1 for 3, a single and a run in to score on this one. Here's the pitch, and that's an inside strike. The count now 0-2. Well, Deming sure does not like that call. No balls, 2 strikes, and the pitch. That one skied to center field. Moving under it is Mears, and he's got it for the out.
The center fielder, number 6, Zach Cole.
That'll bring up Zach Cole. 2 for 2, a home run, triple, 2 RBIs that got him 3 thus far of the ninth. And they're going to balk him too.
Second base.
He's going to second base after that. That is the second balk of the evening for San Antonio pitcher Jason Blanchard. And that is right there. The count now 0-1. Boy, one thing or another, you don't want to get caught balking people. And so far, I'm really not sure if it's the pitcher's fault or not, but evidently, I guess it is what it is. No balls, 2 strikes, and the pitch.
Nope, outside.
That is outside. The count now at 1-2. 1 ball, 2 strikes the count, and the pitch. And that one right there hit to Castagnon, and that ends the half inning. So 2 runs on an RBI single will put Corpus Christi to the top of the scoreboard. We're bottom of 7, and it's time to get up a stretch. It's Corpus Christi 7, San Antonio 5. Well, hope you had a pretty good seventh inning stretch, but we got more baseball for you here on this Tuesday night, on this first day of July. We now send it down to John Baker as he brings us more of our broadcast. Thank you, Bob. Miguel Ulola is coming out now. He's right-hander as he'll pitch in relief for Corpus Christi. Four-seam slider, curveball, and a